Another day, another dollar. You know how I grind. It's the easy corner. My guest from St. Thomas High School, the quarterback and the shooting guard, Maddox Kopp, man. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Just another day on the quarantine, but getting by.
Speaking of quarantine, obviously we know about this epidemic that's going around the world, which is coronavirus, COVID-19. How are you sharpening your game, knowing that you can't be with your guys on the field, you can't even be on your guys on the court? But I'm gonna ask you more about the field, knowing that as a quarterback, you need guys to get better and stuff like that. How are you getting better on your game?
Yeah, honestly, it's just like it's a personal thing right now because I can't hold you accountable. I've been texting my O linemen and my receivers, been texting everybody, trying to get everybody working out and sending them stuff and stuff like I've been doing. It's a personal thing right now, and it's a test of your accountability and work ethic right now. If you're not working, then I don't know what you're doing. I've taken this chance to just transform my body, and I've gained weight and I'm getting better.
Man, you're the quarterback. Your expectations of your team, knowing the weapons that you got, the offensive linemen, what is the message that you actually delivering to them other than, like, we all know that intensity and the way that you play, and of course you're telling your teammates if you're not getting better what you're doing, but what is like another message that you're sending to them?
Honestly, I'm just trying to get them to realize like that we have a legitimate chance of winning state. Like, we were this close last year, made it to the state semis and lost to the eventual state champion. We have the pieces coming back. We have, we just need to get better, and that's what I've been trying to preach to them. Is just, if we put in the work and we grind together as a team, as a squad, then there's not a lot that can stop us.
What's the conversation between you and coach nowadays, knowing that, like I said, this is the time that, of course, that you will be getting ready for like spring football, all of a sudden running through the things that can lead you guys in the fall. What is the conversation between coach and quarterback?
Really, it's just like he's been trying to just get me to find time just to sneak out to a park and because my receiver lives right down the street. He's one of our top receivers, and then just trying to get people just running routes, throwing, because that's the thing. Spring ball is so big for us. Is like last year we built that chemistry. Me and Drake had that click, and we were just going. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was kind of looking forward to, because we have a new transfer coming in from Concordia, Cameron Price, who's a really good athlete, and I was looking forward to just building that chemistry with him and trying to just as a team, because spring ball is huge as a team aspect, and learning your weaknesses and strengths as a team, and so you can exploit those in the summer, so you don't have them anymore going into the fall.
Man, go ahead and talk about some of your teammates, because you guys finished 9-4?
9-4, yes.
9-4. You guys finished off 9-4. Talk about some of your teammates that really don't get the credit that you really deserved around not just the area of Houston, but in the state of Texas.
Yeah, our my offensive line, it works their ass off. Excuse my language, but
no,
still,
you're good.
They really get to it and get after it, and honestly, it's hard to play that position and protect someone for a whole game, but they love it and they do it, and they put their life on the line for me, and I appreciate that. But Cameron Bonner is someone who gets the attention, or who has it, but he's a kid who just recently, he has 12 offers now. Anybody in the country is looking at him, but he's going to just continue to blow up. But Drake Martinez, actually, he just committed to Colorado State.
My boy Drake, yeah.
So he's a big time commitment from him, and I'm just proud of him, man. We we started working out and just getting bigger. I saw him come up from a little scrawny kid who was getting beat up, but now I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get there.
Knowing the St. Thomas fan base and how eager they are to get a state championship, now you're at the helm. You got that year to play under your belt as the quarterback. What do you learn from last year, knowing that was really like your first full year as a starting quarterback?
I mean, honestly, I when I was going into the season, right, I mean, I didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just like, people were asking me, how many yards are you going to throw for? I mean, I'm like, I could not tell you. And so just learning, like, every game I learned something new. And that was the biggest thing for me. It was just, like getting into a rhythm. And once I realized, like, okay, like I'm cut for this. Like, I'm built. And I had the confidence in myself and my teammates, like, oh, my gosh, like, we can do this for real. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I was just like, wow. And then once other people see it, they just start to get behind you. And, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me, was trying to get the confidence in myself and really believe it and work. And then all the kids behind me and stuff like that, we just lead as a group, not just one person. I feel like that's the biggest thing about St. Thomas is everybody's together no matter what.
You sacrificed not playing AAU this year to get better as your craft as a football player. As a football player, what went into that decision for you to know that everybody knows the Kopp household name in the game of basketball, from your brother Braden to Miller and to Anderson, but now you just said, this is a sport that I know that I'm dependent on. And I have actually talked to your teammate probably four or 5 months ago, Mr. Drake Martinez, like you said, I talked to him. I said one of the disadvantages that you probably had not coming into other football season is that you play basketball. So I was just, my mindset, in my opinion, is I know if Maddox had the time to just focus on solely playing quarterback, he could end up being one of the best quarterbacks in the state just on work ethic alone. But just talk about going into that decision.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just it was a thing weighing on me the whole basketball season, to be honest. And I just didn't know what to do. And I just told myself that after the basketball season, I'm going to make a decision. And I told all the coaches that, because, I mean, that's the biggest thing coaches were asking me, is like, hey, which one are you going to play? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I just thought about it, and then I realized that I just loved every aspect about football, being a quarterback. I mean, quarterback is not a position, it's a lifestyle. And I really learned that and really thought about that and asked myself, like, would I rather go to the gym and put up 1,000 shots or be in the weight room at 6 a.m. working and with my teammates and stuff like that? I mean, I still love basketball. I love
of course.
everything about it, the competition and stuff like that. But I just realized that I loved everything about everything about football. And I really didn't have that in basketball.
I believe that honestly, I think the quarterback is probably the toughest position in sports, like baseball pitching, basketball point guard, hockey, soccer. I think quarterback is the toughest position in sports. Just explain the time that goes into it, because at the end of the day, like I said, this is really your first off season to solely focus on playing the quarterback position, because I believe like receivers and running backs can really get away with playing basketball over the summer. But as a quarterback, I think you need that time, because it's a different breed. You calling the plays. You guys need to light up right here, the audibles. I think running back and receivers and like DBs and all those guys, they can probably get away with it because they're still in shape playing basketball. But quarterback is almost a mind thing. Like, oh no, like if you miss play quarterback and then go back in August, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I learned, because I backed up my freshman and sophomore year, a kid who went to Miami, Peyton Matoka. So I really had that time to learn from Coach Johnson, Gerard Johnson, who's now with the Colts. He was our OC at the time. Mm-hmm. And he just really taught me, like, if you want to be good at this, you gotta study film. You got to be a student of the game. And that's what, I mean, I heard that from Miller and stuff from basketball, but it really translates to football. And that's something that I kind of bought into, is just watching tons and tons of film and practice film and game film and staying after practice and just really studying, like, okay, like, what do I – because honestly, I need to know every position on the field. I need to know what my receivers are doing, even if it's a running play. I need to know where the line's going, because people – I mean, I'm the one being looked to in the middle of a game, and if we have a third down and someone doesn't know what to do and I don't know what to do, I mean, then we're ultimately screwed. So I need to know, and that's what I didn't want to put myself in a position, is to, when we get in a problem or predicament like that in a game, to where I don't know what to do.
What are you specifically getting better at? No, because at the end of the day, we know that you have a powerful arm, but you threw 14 interceptions this year. You threw 14, but at the end of the day, I believe that you're a risk taker, though. Like, you have a big cannon of an arm, you have athleticism, but is it one of the points are you trying to make this year is cutting down the turnovers, like from 14 interceptions, probably like around 6 to 7? Well, even really no turnovers. I understand that, but like 14, that's pretty high.
It's a lot for sure. I mean, so after the first 2 games, I had 7.
Dude.
The first game I threw 2, and the second I threw 5. So it was a big thing, and honestly, I mean, you can't. I mean, turnovers. It's a paper thing, but you don't know like what actually happens in the play, right?
Yeah, because sometimes a receiver can slip and drop the ball, and then
we had a couple of those, but still, I mean, I took full responsibility of every turnover, and that's something I had to live with and agree with, the fact that I mean, turnovers are going to happen at a position like quarterback. It's your job to limit them, and so that's what I'm preaching to myself and to other people, because I mean, I've had a receiver who just like, they just shut down. And even though it goes down as my turnover, I mean, it was like, so you gotta, I mean, because if I shut down, then the whole team shuts down. Yeah. So I can't let one turnover or 2 or even 5 in a game define me as a quarterback. Then it'll mess up my next game and my next series. So I just having a quick memory, or a quick memory, just forgetting about things, and I mean, not ultimately just in the game, because going back, I mean, why did I make that throw? Why? That's one of the big things why I said that I learned one thing every game, basically. It was just taking care of the ball is huge.
How do you said 7 turnovers in the first 2 games? What's the conversation with the coach, knowing that, like I said, this is your first time as a full-time starter? If you see those numbers in the first 2 games, it's worry. It's, do we need to go to the next man up? How do you keep composed, and what's the conversation between coach after the first 2 games, knowing that you've thrown 7 interceptions?
I mean, it didn't even come up. Like, if we're gonna go to the next person or anything like that. I mean, that's why one of the biggest things is my quarterback coach, Coach Hudson. Mm-hmm. I mean, he told me, he was like, yeah, man, I mean, I've thrown, like, he understands that it happens and stuff like that, but you have to just limit it. And that's what thing we just have to learn. And so it was never affected like, hey, do we need to go to this next person? Because the fact of the matter is I threw for 500 yards that game against Needville, week 2. So it was the fact that, I mean, just stuff happens and you have to learn from it. And you're our guy and we're sticking with you, and let's go win some games.
When a coach tells you that, no one just go win some games, you still have confidence in you. How much confidence do you have, and how much confidence do you bring to your team?
I mean, it's insane. It's great. I mean, having a coach and a coaching staff that really believes in you is something that I wanted in college. Mm-hmm. And that's why I love St. Thomas so much, is even though that, I mean, you're going to mess up and screw up sometimes in a game, but ultimately when you come back, you learn from it first off, and there's going to be consequences, which is losing some games if you want if you want to take those risks. But just being able to play free and be yourself on the field is just unbelievable.
How has the quarterback position challenged you personally? Because, like I said, you come from a great family, like one of the best sports families that I know, from your mom to your dad. I know 3 out of 4 brothers. I don't really know Braden like that, but like Anderson, Miller, and yourself, we all had good enough relationships. But how has the quarterback positions just challenged you personally?
I mean, it's brought a lot out of me. It's made me look at myself, because if I am someone on the team that's a downer or something, not someone who's not positive, everybody looks at me for guidance. Maybe it may, like, I had to realize that, like, if I don't stay on the bus and pick up trash after the games, then and when I do that, then the freshman who got to ride along with us is thinking in his head, like, all right, this kid's doing it, then why should I? So I realized that, like, that everybody looks at your every move, and it really made me look at myself and stuff like that.
And when you say those quotes that you just said, like you picking up the trash, and if freshmen's looking at that, is that a part of what you said before, as quarterback is really a lifestyle?
No, for sure. Because even in the classroom, if they see me acting up like that and messing around and being disrespectful, then people think it's okay to do that, even if they're not an athlete. And people just look at you in every part of the school and your aspect of classwork and being just walking in the hallways too. I mean, but if you're a good kid and really present yourself, and that's one thing that I've learned from my parents and my brothers, is just representing yourself and your name well.
You live in the house with 3 Division I athletes. You're obviously the youngest one. I call you the final nail in the coffin. The final nail in the coffin. They've all been through recruitment in some stage in their respective sports. Anderson basketball, Miller basketball, Braden football. As a recruitment level, what is the advice do they give you, not just as a player, but as big brothers to little brother?
I mean, the crazy thing is quarterback recruitment is unlike nothing, like no one.
Yeah.
It's just it's different, and that's the fact of the matter. And Braden has really helped me, because he is connected and knows people. So he's really helped me, like, decide, and he's given me a lot of advice when it comes to how to talk to coaches and what to say and because I mean, Twitter is huge right now on recruitment level, especially because of what's going on. So DMing coaches and having them respond, and ultimately calls, like talking to them on the phone. But they have just told me to stay patient, and that's one thing I've really taken to heart, is just, I mean, really just like putting your head down and grinding. What comes with it will come with it, but you can't control anything other than yourself. And so that's what I've been trying to focus on this quarantine, is just really grinding right now.
Do you ever look at the 2021 area in Houston for quarterbacks? Because honestly, I really think that it's real legit. To me, that you're somewhere up there as the upper echelon quarterbacks in this city. To me, the 2 that I really look at, though, is obviously Demetrius Davis from North Shore that's going to Virginia Tech. And the year that Kyron Drones had, I think that he's actually starting to, he actually woke the country up, not just the state of Texas, but I just think that he woke the country up. When you look at your peers in the 2021 class, specifically in this city of Houston, what is your thoughts on all these different dynamic of quarterbacks?
I mean, that's just one thing that a lot of people have said, is just it's a competitive class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to have a year like he did and go undefeated and win a Texas 5A state championship, that's something not a lot of people get to do.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that is really impressive. And I really I envy the fact that he got to do that. But I mean, I've been working and I'm trying to do the same thing. So
because I see a particular a similar story with you two. You guys are both basketball from AAU, and then all of a sudden, you guys really, this is your first full year this year, and you guys really had breakout seasons. Like, I think that as an athlete, we knew what you guys could do athletically, but playing the quarterback, like you said, is just more than athletic. It's the savviness, the grit, and the determination and desire. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I feel like that basketball has instilled in me. And I feel like he can testify to that too. It's just like, I mean, you're going to get a little AAU is different, man, and especially in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up playing each other and against team chemistry and stuff like that, we had some battles in harvest time and people going crazy, parents, and just, I mean, that being calm in that situation as a sixth grader is when parents are fighting and, I mean, refs and all that type of stuff, and being cool and calm collective really translates to the football field is when you're in the state semifinal game playing against Parish Episcopal. And you have to convert this third down, and being cool when their fans are going crazy is just something that has helped, that I learned from basketball.
Quarterbacks in general, why do you believe that they always remember the plays, the big plays that just cause a game? Because I think if you talk to any quarterback, even if they played quarterback in the 60s, they'll remember more of the losing plays than the winning plays. Like that 3rd and 10, I should have hit him, but I threw the pick. You know what I'm saying? So just talking, is that just the way the mind is processed?
I mean, I feel like it's just the fact that you just would wish you could go back and make that, because you study it in film, and that's why you watch film so much, is you learn to not make those mistakes. But the fact that you go and, I mean, you realize it just replays in your head, and just, I didn't see that linebacker dropping, and I should have known that. I watched his scouting report. I knew that he was a little faster than the left side, but it's just the fact that it's so personal to me. It is playing. I'm not only playing against a team, but I'm playing against that corner, that safety, and that linebacker. You know what I mean?
Is there a perception about private school football? Because we all know, like you said, you got the powerhouses in football in the public area. Of course, we start with North Shore, the Shadow Creeks, the Atascocitas, all these public schools, but private schools, you know, straight Jesuit is still in private school. It's still in the private school rank. Yourselves in St. Thomas, there are different great private schools like the Episcopals and stuff like that are great around the city of Houston. But do you believe there's a certain perception about private school football?
Yeah, I mean, 6A public school is different. And I mean, it's just the amount of kids, and I feel like people just think that since we are in private school, we're not working as hard or some, I don't even know, but it's just the fact that public schools, I mean, it's a different level, and some of us, I mean, honestly, we could be playing in there, but it's just the fact that it's just 6A versus 6A versus 6,000 versus 800 in a school.
I'm a firm believer. I would, in my opinion, though, I like the private school games a little more, though, in football and basketball, because I really think the crowds make a difference. Like in public school,
it's personal.
I've been to those private school football games and basketball games. It's a playoff atmosphere. It looks like a playoff atmosphere damn near every game, just for a regular season game.
Well, no, it's a little personal. I mean, it's different. It's like I feel like in public schools, it's more of a community who comes out and watches the game, instead of like it's our school, and our school is that community, and it's there. Our student section is right here, and the parents that come to the games know not to sit here, because if they do, they're gonna get like
right. Honestly, you're right. I like that. That's a good word.
It's just personal.
I want to read a quote from your teammate, Mr. Drake Martinez, what he said about you. He said, "I've never met a QB more persistent and hardworking than Maddox. Anything Maddox succeeds in, it was all from the bottom up. He works for everything he's had talent-wise, and I don't see him stopping anytime soon. All I'm saying is St. Thomas equals state champs this year. Let's go. When you talk about when one of these guys that have the admiration for you with Drake Martinez, who's probably one of the best tight ends in the state of Texas, the way that he could just run routes and still catch touchdown passes and does everything. When a guy has that much confidence in you, saying those words about you, what's your feeling?
I mean, that's my guy right there. I mean, he sent me a picture of this tweet and it said the tight end quarterback relationship is different. And I truly believe that. I mean, we're close. I mean, like, that's my guy. Like, that's my brother, really. And really, and that's the crazy thing about this year, St. Thomas wise, is we've created that brotherhood, and we're not leaving anyone out. And that's something that me, Drake, and a couple other kids have really instilled in that St. Thomas program. We're trying to build that, because when we leave, we don't want it all to just go for nothing. We're trying to build a legacy of fact that when these freshmen come in, they realize that, okay, like, this is something serious, that we're going to work on something, we're going to build. So when their freshman class, the next one and the next one and the next one, you know what I mean? So it's just, I mean, he's a great kid. He says, I worked for nothing. I mean, we both started there.
Yeah.
So we're both really hardworking, and really, we're about to go work out right now at a park.
Hey, tell my boy I said what's up. Knowing that you guys got at least one more crack to get this state championship, what will it mean to you to get there and get that in your last year? Because I know the Kopp family. They are built on competitiveness. They are competitors. Like, I say, the most fierce competitors that I've ever met, from Miller to Anderson to yourself. You guys are fierce competitors. What does this bringing St. Thomas a state championship mean to you?
I mean, I've been working on this since my freshman year. I mean, it's not only for us, it's for St. Thomas. Coach McGuire, Rich McGuire, he brought me into St. Thomas when I was a 6'1", little chubby quarterback, and everybody wanted to move me to lineman. And he was like, nah, that's my quarterback. And he believed in me and what I had and my talent-wise and my potential. And he stuck with me, and it's more than just St. Thomas. I mean, the athletic director, Coach Netzel, is just he really cares about the kids and the athletes. And I just want to bring it to the school and the community, because I feel like, I mean, we deserve it. We've worked we put in the hours, and it's going to pay off.
I want you to talk about patience, though. You said, like, you sat 2 years. All of a sudden, your first full year was last season. If you're talking to a guy that's in that predicament, what's the message to him? Because, you know, we're in an era that play right away, like play him. But you sat 2 years and you've gained success learning. What I'm trying to ask is, what was that feeling when you knew that you were learning through the process? What did that do for you as a quarterback?
Because honestly, I just wasn't ready. Even if people say that they want to play, but when you get out there and you have a 6'6", 250 landing on you, and your body is physically not ready, and your mental is not there. And that's something that I learned from myself. And I mean, my freshman year, I played more my freshman year than I did my sophomore year. Peyton got injured a bunch, and I had to step in, and I learned to myself that I wasn't ready, and I was going to work. I was going to work until I was. And I feel like it just all timed up right. I mean, and some kids are all ready, but honestly, you have to ask yourself, are you ready to take a beating day in, day out, and ready to keep it going?
What are kind of the pro quarterbacks that you actually look at? Because I'm a Tom Brady guy. Miller knows we always argue that, the Steelers this. I'm a Tom Brady. He knows I'm a Tom Brady guy. But what are the pro quarterbacks that you look at that you pick their game and kind of just pick their brain?
I mean, you made the Steelers, but I mean, I love Ben Roethlisberger.
I see him a little bit in your game too.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just a little more athletic than he is, but I just love the fact that I mean, he's old. I mean, he's getting old,
Yeah.
and him being able to play at that position for a long time and be able to take those beatings and keep playing. And but I feel like my arm ability is just up there. And I mean,
Mhm.
so just the fact of getting everything else connected is a huge part. And I feel like he did that really well, and that's why he's still playing.
In all this, talk about your parents and what they meant to you, not just as an athlete, but as as a son, and what they taught you. Because I have so much respect for your parents. Like I told Miller in the interview the other time, the time that I interviewed him, I have to envy your parents, because like they show up to games knowing that you got one son at Vanderbilt, another one at Northwestern, you still playing at St. Thomas, Anderson, Beaumont, and Lamar University. Talk about your parents and what they have instilled in you for you to get to this point.
I mean, just my whole sophomore year, I barely played, and they went to every single game, even away games, San Antonio, and I was like, I mean, God, like, Dad, Mom, you don't have to go to this game. Like, I'm not gonna go. And one thing I learned, and my dad said, is like, we're not just going for you. We're going to show the support of the team in St. Thomas. And I really was like, dang, like, y'all not going to watch me. No, but I mean, they've just showed that, showed me that it's not just about me, and it's about, I mean, showing out for the kids who are playing. And because that's what my dad said. It was just, your time is coming. But right now, let's support the kids that are playing and that are doing their thing. And yeah.
Now that you're playing, what is their message to you? Because as much as your brothers are competitors, I know your parents are competitors. I know you guys get it from somewhere, and it probably starts with them too. But what are they just telling you, knowing that you play one of the, like I said, the toughest position in sports? Like, you can't tell me nothing about no tennis, no basketball, no baseball. Quarterback is a tough position in sports. What is the message from your parents?
I mean, they're just telling me like that they believe in me, and that the fact that, I mean, see, it went into the fact that deciding between basketball and football. And my parents, even though, I mean, I think they want me to play. My dad, they don't like the hitting and all that type of stuff, but he was just like, ultimately, it's your decision. And so when I said, like, I really want to play football and I want to go after this, and he fully supported me. And I mean, obviously he knows that I want to win a state championship, so he holds me accountable every day. I mean, what are you doing today? Like, where are you working out? Where are you running today? You've done your push-ups. I mean, it's a constant reminder, and sometimes it may get a little annoying, but I mean, he does it because he loves me.
No, it's funny that you say that, because I asked Miller the same question, and he said Braden did it to him. He was just like, "Oh, is that all the push-ups that you did today?" like that's it?
No, it's even worse with Miller. Like, it's even worse with Miller, because Braden's not here yet. He's still in Nashville, so he's not in my business yet. And I mean, he will be, but Miller is really, I mean, I've gained 5 pounds of muscle.
Give me an example of what Miller would do. Like, give us an example of what Miller would do.
So on yesterday, we do a 10 a.m. workout with his Northwestern basketball program every day, and we were doing lateral squats or stuff like that, and he was like, "Dude, you're doing it wrong." And I was like, "What?" Like, "No, I'm not." He's like, and then we got into this whole thing, and he was like, "Dude," like, and I was like, "Bro, you just want to critique me?" I don't know. I just got a little mad or a little angry, and he was like, "Dude, if I was being an asshole right now, like, I wouldn't even let you be in the same gym as me right now, and I wouldn't even let you Well, and I was like what? And that I mean, that just shows you, like, I wanted to go and just, like,
Give
boom.
me a typical day really in that household, because I really think that if you guys had a day in the life, you guys would hit YouTube views and subscribers, because I would be the first one I would promote and say, watch this, because I just know the competitiveness that drives y'all in that house. Because like, I think though sometimes you guys have different types of competitive. I think Miller's own is a little internal, because he told me about that the year that he made it, like as in like he blew up with the defenders. He was just like, I had the NBA top 100 list on my wall, and I was trying to look down, and my name was number 100. Anderson, he just wants to let everybody know, like, yeah, I'm here. It doesn't matter who you are, I'm here. But I think you're probably the coolest one of them all, though. You play it cool, but at the end of the day, you just look like, I'm gonna get it done. I'm just trying to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I've taken a lot of stuff from Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have throwback to, I put the RCS rankings on my wall back when I was still playing during the summer.
Yeah.
And I circled number 23, and I circled 6'2", and I was like, I mean, I'm out here 6'4". At the time I was like, and it was internal. I mean, it was the fact that I took that stuff and I buried it, and I said, this stuff is not going to come out. And I mean, we have days, me and Miller, we go in our garage, we call it dungeon days. I mean, it's hood up, it's grind. And that's the stuff that I really like. I mean, that gets me going at night. And when I'm working out, I mean, it's just that drive, and that just a second kicks in, and the internal, all that stuff comes out, and it's you're working out, but you're telling yourself, this kid, you scream names like kids that I wanted, like, just, teams and all that type of stuff, and all that drive and motivation. That's how you get those extra 2 sets, those extra 10 reps, make yourself just that much better.
How much is the work and the process is a part of you? Because I believe that as much as you guys are fierce competitors on the field, there is guys that I know that they're not willing to put in the work, but when it comes to a game, they're ready, because like they're game ready. I think, to me, you're one of them guys that, you enjoy the process of the work just a little more than the field, because the work, knowing that the work that you put in, it gave you confidence to do what you do on the field. So like, so what I'm just saying is, as a quarterback, I think you're probably thinking that, I've already done this because I've been working at this. So I think that's the way that you approach. But how much of the work and the process is a big part of your life?
I mean, I've gotten to the point where, I mean, Coach Johnson told me this, and I'll never forget it. Mm-hmm. He's told me, he said, you want to get to the point where you're playing a game, mm-hmm. and you come out and you say to yourself, this shit is easy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like
it's boring. Mm-hmm. And I got to that point during that season when we played St. Pius, mm-hmm. and I went and sat down. I was just like, what am I doing here? Like this, we were just, and that's just something that I learned back in that summer in the weight room with all of the guys. I mean, it's no AC, like 100 degrees outside, 110 inside. And we're just lifting and grinding and running. And then, but the thing is that after everybody does that, people don't know, but I'm coming back in that gym and getting those extra reps, doing the extra pull-ups, those push-ups, those bench, those abs. You got, like, it's just the fact that nobody's going to outwork me, and I'm going to show that on the field.
We're going to kind of transition and talk a little bit about your basketball career, your basketball season aspirations. Obviously, you got your boy, Mr. John Massey, with you, but like I said, you play for the Defenders, you play for Team Harden. In this ride of basketball, what have you really just enjoyed, knowing that like your time of basketball is almost coming to an end, knowing that it's almost coming to you, this is your last year shooting the orange ball, knowing that you're playing football at the next level. We all know that you're playing football at the next level, but all your years that you've been playing basketball, what has it taught you?
I mean, started from fourth grade when me and Gulf Coast Blue Chips and Elijah Lawrence, and we drove to Memphis and played in the AAU Nationals. I mean, just the AAU trips and those camaraderie. But I mean, I just love the competitiveness, and that's what I'm going to miss most about basketball is the one-on-one matchup, the fact that this kid is not going to score on me. And I don't care where you come from or where you think I'm from, but you're not going to, like, just that edge and that competitive, like, almost. And that's what I get and miss about, like, playing and with my brothers, because we can't play one-on-ones anymore
Well,
because it's a fight. It does not matter about someone's going to get bumped a little too hard. Someone's going to take it I mean, it's all personal. And that's the fact that's the thing that I'm going to miss most about basketball is making it personal. So that's what I try to do in football is just, I mean, really make it personal.
can you give me a favorite team of all time in AAU basketball?
To play against?
No, not play against or who you played with.
I mean, probably the ninth grade Team Harden. That was my favorite year.
Give me some names. Who was on that team?
Had Kobe Haynes, Cullen Montgomery, he's a big time. I've known Cullen since we played middle school football together, and he was my lineman. He blocked for me, and it was funny. I mean, we came full circle, came back to Team Harden. Justin Collins. There's a bunch of other kids, but that year, Coach Rick, shout out Coach Ricks, man. I mean, that's a great guy right there, and he taught me. Him and Coach Howell kind of taught me that work is undefeated.
I love it.
That's something that I really didn't realize until I kind of saw that firsthand. Saw James working out, go and watch him shoot, and just seeing that competitiveness and that drive and just that. And honestly, I just found my love for Nipsey. That's what I found that summer. It's just this guy is inspirational, and that's who I listen to when I work out now.
I love it. Top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now. Top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah. So give me your top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now. Top 5 quarterbacks of all time, and honestly, give me your top 5 favorites.
So in the league right now, I think Patrick Mahomes is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just insane of what he does on the field, and right at the moment, number 2 would be Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
He's just it's just insane of what the athletic ability he has. And 3, I mean, I just love Russell Wilson so much.
Yeah, I think he's underrated.
Not just his athletic ability, but his leadership qualities is what I kind of model my leadership qualities after. Is just trying to be the quarterback outside of the field, and that he is and that he's been. But number 4. Man, I've got to say Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
It's just insane what he does, but he just needs to get a ring.
Another ring. Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah.
5. It's hard, man. Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Okay, move that whole list down, and Tom Brady's at the start. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm about to say, I'm sitting here, I'm looking like, is he not gonna have no list with Tom Brady is right now?
I'm like, what? Like, I'm trying to think. I was like, I'm blanking right now. Like, what am I thinking of?
That's what I said. So that's your 5. Okay, give me your 5 of all time.
I think he may be. I honestly can't. It's like a tie. Those top 3, which is I think Tom Brady, Steve Young is in there, I feel like.
Okay.
I don't think Brett Favre is top 3, but he's maybe 4 or 5.
Okay. I'll take that. Peyton Manning?
That's another guy who I kind of model my game
Yeah.
after too.
Yeah.
It's just that he's another tall quarterback and who works, but he's not super athletic.
Yeah.
Little stiff leg, but yeah, he's in there.
Okay.
I mean, I think not only being the greatest of all time quarterback, you have to be able to win.
Okay.
You have to have Super Bowls.
Yeah. Super Bowls, plural.
Bowls.
Yeah. I got you. And then I got a special question for you. We're going to revert back to basketball. Give me 4 2021 guys that you would want to run with that you would run with in the city of Houston, not in the city of Houston. 4 2021s.
Just like say a starting 5.
Honestly, it doesn't have to be a starting 5 by position, but you could do a starting 5.
Yes. I mean, I got it though. Noah Khan. Yeah, that was probably he's one of my best friends.
Okay.
We kind of we got close on the defenders, but Noah, gotta throw John in there. We've been together since day one.
Yeah.
Kobe Haynes.
Okay.
Get the corner shooters, man. Nobody would touch us. We would shoot all threes. No drive to leave a glass. One more. Let me think. It's hard. There's a lot of.
Trust me, there's a lot. Like I said, you got what the Ramon Walkers, the Josh Farmers, the R.J. Keens. Let's see who else we got. Jay Francis.
He was.
Then like who on the defenders? Damian Watson, Jacoby Harris. Yeah, Jacoby Flores. Yeah.
Man, may throw him in there. We got all shooters. No type of rebounds.
So
100 threes a game.
So are those the 4 guys?
The 4 guys.
Okay, I like it. And my last question to you: how has I would say football, but I'm gonna say how has sports really shaped you as the man that you are today?
I mean, it's been my life for since I knew what sports was. I mean, it's showed me what competition is and what drive is. Not only in sports, but I've transferred it to schoolwork, and that's something that I think a lot of people can learn is the fact that, I mean, you can be able to grind in the weight room, but you got to be able to grind in the classroom. I mean that it's equal, and you have to be able to do both. And it's just brought me relationships that I've never. I mean, they're just long lasting relationships, and it's. I mean, it's gonna continue to be my life basically, and I love it. There's nothing I would trade.
I got you. Okay, honestly, this is really my last question. Give me the position that your 3 brothers would play in football.
I think, Braden actually lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So, but when he was in his high school days, say senior in high school, he would definitely be my left tackle.
Okay.
Blindside protector.
Yeah.
Miller.
I saw that video with the hands. So Miller don't even think about that.
I would just see him playing like a tight end, like a Travis Kelce type. And honestly, like I shouldn't have said that. It's gonna make his head so big, but like.
But honestly, though, I see more of Miller as a D end.
Really?
Because like his intensity on that line would be crazy. So I would think of him as a Howie Long and J.J. Watt.
Like, there's just no match for like the tackles and the O linemen. He just needs. I mean, he can't gain weight like that. I just think he would. Yeah, no. I feel like he would just get destroyed on the line. He would get pancaked so much.
And Anderson.
See, Anderson, he always like he always tries to give me quarterback advice because he played 7th grade A-team quarterback. So he's like, dude, like I was like, dude, Anderson.
Because the thing is, I don't see Anderson playing quarterback because the ankle problems. I don't know if
for sure. No,
he can move.
He always tries to do that, like tries to throw in like, bro, I played quarterback, like let me show you. And I was like, Anderson's always trying to teach me something, even though he knows nothing about it. But I feel like he could be like a strong safety or something like that. Just someone to fly around I don't know. Anderson's weird. I don't know. Maybe like a wideout. Just not a slot receiver, but just a tall guy.
My question is, if he was your wideout, are you throwing him the ball?
No.
I'm not. Them boy said he's not throwing.
No, he would. He's the type of receiver that comes back in the huddle and's like, dude, I was open. Like tries to tell me like every play that he was open when knowing like that's the most annoying thing as a quarterback when a kid comes back and knowing that you have a progression.
Yeah.
Back and he's like, dude, I was open. I was like, calm down. Like if you were open, we'll go back to the play. Yeah. But like it's just too much stuff to think about. Anderson would make the huddle so much crazier than it should be.
Man, go ahead, man. Throw out your Twitter handle, your Instagram, and if you have a TikTok, throw that. Thanks to Dylan Miles, he made me not forget TikTok. So if you have throw out your Instagram, your Twitter.
Both Instagram and Twitter are just Maddox _Kopp. Okay. So go hit me with the follow.
I got you. I am the Easy Corner. Follow on Instagram at the Easy Corner. Follow on Twitter on Easy_Corner1, and also subscribe on YouTube. This episode will be out next week. I'm here with the St. Thomas quarterback and shooting guard, Maddox Kopp. Man, appreciate you coming on the show, man. Thank you.